This video is part of a 3-part series for the Bissell Crosswave Cordless Max. We're going to have a box opening video, an initial use and review video, and then a 1-month review video. If you haven't seen any of those videos, right above my finger there should be a link to click on that playlist to see them. Hey folks, we're here with our initial review on how to use the Crosswave now that we've had it for about a week. Today is September 11th and I think we opened it on the 6th, I think. I get ballpark guess, I don't know. Anyway, so far we're pretty happy with it. We've been keeping it right here. We used to actually park our Roomba here. We moved it to the living room and now we have this here. You'll notice the Wi-Fi signal set up because we did hook it up to Wi-Fi, and the cleaning button's on so it could get cleaned if you want. But we're going to go ahead and show you how to use it and initially what we think of it as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So we typically clean it after we use it, and we take the brushes out and set them aside so that they can dry. So putting them in is fairly easy. This one has got quite a bit of use on it so far. That's why it's a little dirty. What we found is when running it, if it does get like too dirty, we just set it back on its stand here and clean itself, and it cleans itself right up. It's actually pretty cool. What we did notice, one of the things that is getting this lid off is actually sometimes a little difficult. You really have to pull on it to get it to actually come off. So in this case you can, but just something to look out for, that it does take quite a bit of effort to get that off of there. Right now I think it's actually just lifted off and she's ready to go. We haven't actually exceeded its battery capacity yet. I'd say the longest we've ever used it might be 15 minutes, and it's always only gone down 1 bar on the battery charging. It should be out of solution because I ran it out this morning, so we're gonna go ahead and fill it up right now. So the side markings is really nice because most shampoo machines don't have that. So you fill it right up to the water level, and that's what we typically always do. And if you're aiming for a particular floor, great, but you know, honestly, I think any cleaner would work great. I think lately we've been using the hard floor one. The scents on these are not very strong. So if you have a musty, dirty roller, it's gonna smell musty. It doesn't cover it up like it's not overpowering. When you put it in, it's kind of fancy, but that's about it. So we bring it up to the... and
there's three
servings per bottle, so we'll have to get these.
Bottles.
The big bottles, I guess, are about 25 bucks a piece, so look out for that. That's a consumer cost. And I guess if you buy the rollers on Amazon, because you will wear them out too, they're about, if you get like 3 of them, they're like 26 bucks too. We've really found the purpose of this machine is it's more of a wet mop, essentially. So it's great on hardwood floors. We actually haven't tried it too hard on carpet yet, because we're mostly looking for, it's like a Swiffer replacement or a steam head mop replacement type of thing. And in that regard, it does fantastic. So running it is super easy. You just need to turn it on and then the vacuum starts right away. And I think we showed this in the prior video, as soon as you bend it down, the rollers start to spin. And the one thing to note is that the mode button that's right here changes the light down here. So that's for carpets, and it uses twice as much solution as it does on the hardwood floor side. So if you're doing hardwood floors or tile or whatever, use that. It saves on the solution for sure. And our current tank is empty. I'll show you how to empty that once we do some floor cleaning. But once you bend it, you gotta press the trigger for at least 10 seconds to get the juices flowing. And they say that to do that in the manual. And then essentially it's just lightly, I wanna call it polishing the floor. It's getting the roller wet and it's spinning. And I'm not sure if you can see it in the light, but it leaves a wet streak there. And as long as the button's pressed, the little LED lights are on. And then when you let go of the button, it's nowhere just sucking at this point. The roller's still wet, so it's still kind of cleaning that way, but it actually leaves the floor fairly dry. It only takes it maybe a minute or 2 to actually dry after that. So very kudos to that. I think we also found it's more of a maintenance machine. So if you had a dirt, like a sticky spot, like maybe a kid dropped something and it's sticky, this won't get it. You still have to kind of get in there and scrub it a little bit to get it good. But like cat tracks, fur chunks, stuff like that, it does well.
Wet mess.
Wet mess, for sure. If it's been dried on, it might or may not get it, at least with the hardwood floor brush. The other thing that we notice is that it doesn't hurt to vacuum ahead of time, to be honest with you. It's a vacuum technically, but a vacuum is better at sucking up dust, dirt, and debris, and then you come in with this machine and clean the floor, and that'll give it that clean polishing. So we're gonna go ahead and do a floor that's just down here. We'll film it for you, and then we'll show you the tank and how we clean it. So here we have a section of floor. We actually haven't vacuumed this one. We'll show you kind of how dirty this machine gets here. It looks fairly clean, although you can see that there is dog and animal fur there. And we'll just go ahead and we'll quickly time lapse this, and then we'll show you how we clean it. One thing we notice is if you're rolling it along the floor with the head standing up, if you hit a transition piece, the head will fall down. So that's something to note, that if you're just running around with it, it will tend to fall down here. What we're going to do is we're going to transition floors. The floor we just did there, it did excellent, and that's what we found with it. We've also found that it actually gets fairly close to the edge of the wall. Like you can see where the roller comes right up to here, and it does. It doesn't leave much of an edge, which is convenient. But for the sake of this video, you notice we've got some hairs and things and stuff like that, and our roller is actually starting to get a little dirty. So what we found out is that if you go and return it to the machine, the base, you can just sit it on there and press clean, and it will renew itself essentially. So once you set it on the power and press the clean button, it actually does a great job at cleaning its own brush, which I found honestly fairly impressive. And what it does essentially, it just squirts lots of juice on there and sucks it all up into the machine, and it runs a little bit. We typically store it with the rollers out of it so that they can air dry a little bit better, but I imagine you could leave it on there, but we're worried about that, you know, wet roller smell. And we're getting down the tank, so we'll be able to clean that in a second. I found best results of actually run the cleaning mode twice. And cause see, there's still a little bit of hair here and there. A second wash might actually do that, but we're gonna go ahead and move to the living room now. And we're gonna wash that floor as well. Oh yeah, the machine itself is actually quite light, even with water on board. And the battery is obviously fairly not heavy because it's also quite light, and it's very quiet. Like she'll turn it on and it's not that loud. There's no change in sound whether you're running water or if you're just, you know, running it. So that's also pretty cool. It does have an app, and I guess you might be able to remotely get it to clean itself, but honestly, it's kind of a standalone machine, so when you put it away, you wash it. I guess the ultimate question is do we think it's worth it? If you can get one on sale, I would say yes. It's super convenient, which is enjoyable about it. I'm not sure if I would need to spend that sort of money on a, essentially a fancy floor mop. But it does a great job.
It's been keeping our house a lot cleaner.
It has been keeping our house a lot cleaner. This is a wool carpet, and boy does it shed, and it has no issues, and it also moves around a little bit, so let me pull it back so we have some space. But it's really quiet, and it really leaves the floor nice and dry. So here we've switched heads. The difference between the heads is these little plastic knobs you see here, they're purple, and it just gives it a little bit more hard teeth. The only carpet is all teeth. The hardwood floor is all soft, and this is kind of a hybrid of it here. We're not actually going to change soap on it, but we're going to go ahead and wash this carpet. And once again, it's a light cleaner. It's not going to get any stains, but it will definitely keep your carpets in good shape if they start off there. One of the complaints though, well not a complaint, but a thing we've noticed is these buttons. You kind of have to crunch your neck to know which one you're pushing. You can't just grab it and press a button. You've got to kind of look at them to double check to see which one you're getting. Now we did not pre-vacuum this carpet, which probably may have been a good idea, but this is a vacuum cleaner, right? It's supposed to be able to handle a certain amount of...
Wow, look at all that fur.
Yeah, big chunks of fur. So we have not been able to exhaust the battery on it yet. Like we'll go clean a room or a couple rooms and it's just been exactly as you see it now. It just runs fine. And these lithium ion batteries, just charge them when you're done with them. You don't have to power them all the way down and then recharge them back. Cleaning the tank is pretty easy. This part just lifts off like I think we did in the first video. Holy crap. So that's animal fur. Mostly off the carpet. Actually probably plugged it. That's why it did change pitch a little bit on us there, and that's not great. But then there's this little purple handle that, yeah, there's a little purple handle you can pick up that actually, yeah, so it does a good job there, yeah. Does a good job in terms of separating the liquid and that. Man. Okay, so yeah, our house is dirty obviously, and then it's just dirty water which you could put down a sink. We have a strainer in our sink anyway because most people do. And then what we typically do is rinse it out just because it's dirty water, right? And that's what we do with all our floor shampooers. And that's not, you're not done cleaning it though, because there's also the filter cartridge. So you flip it over, it's got the two things you can pull the black thing out right here. And there is a screen that happens to be clean, but you can actually wipe that off and it opens up like a door. So that's the replaceable filter element, and this kind of keeps it from getting dirty. And that just sits in there. But you will eventually probably need to replace that.
I'll just wipe this out.
Yeah, wipe that
Can
out
you rinse
too.
it?
Out without the filter, you probably could.
Seems like it should be rinsable.
It's I think it might be, but I'm not going to guarantee it yet. You know, the filter element, it seems like it's made of paper.
Right.
That screen is definitely rinsable, but maybe not the filler element. It's not like a HEPA filter in terms of it's, you know, I'm not going to get it perfectly clean, but we're not looking for microfiltration. We're looking to get rid of this stuff off our floor. So, and to that it did a good job. So our impressions of it are, it's a really good machine. It's been easy to keep clean. That comes apart. The top roller part comes apart. And it gets this off our floors, which the vacuum may have gotten some of that, but that's what this thing is. But it's also given it a little bit of a shampoo, which is also convenient. Is awesome. We'll see how the consumables do in terms of liquid. It doesn't seem to use that much soap solution, so it might be fairly efficient in that regard. I know with the carpet shampooers, you use quite a bit, but you only do it maybe once a month, if that. This I expect to use almost daily to get those quick spills. The thing is, if you spill milk on the floor and you can get right on it, this machine will get right on it. So it's good for that. So overall, so far so good, but we're going to do a month review here in about a month, obviously, after we've used it for a month, picking up stuff like this. And we'll let you know how the durability of the machine lasts and things like that. So if you have any questions, ask them in comments, please do. That's our initial review and kind of how to use. We keep our rollers there. The filter, which does come out of the base, she just brought it over. When you rinse this off, it can sit right there out of the machine as well, along with the roller. And so you can let them dry, and I usually leave this one essentially unattached when I don't have a roller in it, because there's no point in clicking it hard twice. And we still have, you know, a little bit over half a tank of, or a little under half a tank of cleaning solution to go. Looks like we've got some dirt in there too. But it's pretty cool. So subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and go ahead and click the playlist like I said earlier in the video, and you'll see the 1 month review hopefully here in a month. You folks have a good day.